but it means very much to us that you take the time to come see us. I know it's just a little while, but it's important to learn what's going on in our community. Let me go ahead and tell you before I forget, because I will. Our next coffee will be Thursday, August 4th at CV Home Health in Centreville, where Pam goes. Okay. There you are. Sorry. Look right over your head. But you know where the post office is. It'll be on the opposite end of the shopping center at CV Home Health, Thursday, August 4th at 9 a.m. with Pam and all of the CV Home Health crew. It's always a great turnout. There's a large facility there, and they do good work over multiple counties within our area. In September, we will meet at the Centreville Press, or they're going to be hosting somewhere or another, to learn what's going on with them and how they have grown and changed throughout their over 100 years of service to Bibb County, one of the longest serving businesses in our area. And then in October, we will be at First US Bank in Centreville in their boardroom. So please join us there on October 6th at 9 a.m. I know everyone has announcements, so we'll take a moment. Please introduce yourself. We are live on the Centreville Press, Centreville Voice. So watch what you say about your neighbors. But please take a moment and start with you, buddy.
Oh my, the pressure's on.
Yeah,
I gotta talk nice about people because we're alive, right? Let's record it. I'm Rob. I'm with Pro Health Hospice Company. We serve home health and hospice, mainly hospice here in the Bibb County area. And it's, if we can help in any way, give us a call.
Thank you. Jenny? I'm Jenny Cottingham. David Daniel invited me because I have a great interest in genealogy and the history of Bibb County. Thank you.
Angie Langston, I'm a tax assessor and collector. We just sent out evaluation notices if anybody got one. If you have any questions about them, just give me a call and pick them on or something. We'll work with you, and if you didn't get one that means the property taxes aren't changing. So, if you have questions,
Well, they're just too high. Call these things.
we'll look at it. We will. We'll see. We might go up.
Oh,
I'm Sheila Duncan. I am the advertisement manager for the Centreville Press.
Pamela Moore, CV Home Health Patient Advocate.
Mike Murphy, I'm an attorney here in town, and I'm a member here at First Presbyterian.
I'm Willie Dunn. I serve on the Industrial Development Board, and I'd like to tell you that we have some exciting things that's listed to happen to our Industrial Development Board. Just be looking forward to that coming up in the future.
Melissa Thompson, Director of Bibb County Save Life. Our golf tournament's coming up July the 30th. We need players and we need sponsors, so let me know.
Charles Cadell, Bibb County Commission, District 2. This is my wife, Lambda. She's my sidekick.
I'm Tom Olley, with Homestead Properties in Brent. It's my 50th year in real estate in Bibb County. So, Tom's Land Reynolds, I'm also an attorney in Brent. Thank you.
Hey, Tom's not ashamed to look at the camera either. Good for you, Tom. Chris Honey can look at the camera too.
John?
John Avery, Windsor Corporation. I do industrial maintenance supplies, so vascular, drill bits, paints, things like that.
I'm David Daniel. I'm Karen's husband.
I'm Mary Beth Foxy. I'm with Child Advocacy Center. I'm Savannah Pearson. I'm the reporter for the Centreville Press.
I'm Richard Meck. I run a men's ministry in Bibb County. I'm with some of the churches, the DHR, and the court system, helping them biblical management.
Ethan Bice with Congressman Gary Palmer's office.
I am Bobby White there, City of Brent.
Lynn Henry, CHBC member, cover governmental affairs for the Centreville Press, landscaping and design, and volunteer for the great city of Centreville.
Yeah. Yay.
Wayne Keith with Cook's Pest Control, providing pest control for your residential and commercial needs.
I'm Ron Davis with the Bibb County Commission. As you're all aware, we
what 626 in association with Bibb County is?
626.
There's a square miles of Bibb County. 626 square miles. Since I've been associated with the county for about 15 years now, doing different things, it's always been North Bibb and South Bibb. Well, we're gonna try to get rid of that. Anytime you give a speech, anytime you're talking to people, bring up the 626. We can come together as one county. We did it 2 weeks ago. We've done it for the last 2 weeks. That's all.
Amen.
I'm Ty Corbell. Currently, I'm at the town of Woodstock as a council member. In a few months, I'll come down here as a newly elected commissioner at District 4. Join Mr. Bell, Brian, and I'll reiterate what he just said. One thing that I talked about throughout was how we definitely got to do better at working together, whether it's north and south end, whether it's municipality to county, whatever it may be. I feel like that relationship definitely can be better. I've already had a few questions this morning about the new development that we have at the intersection of Highway 5 and 11 in Woodstock. A lot of people know that we've been working on that. Everybody knows that there's a Winn-Dixie that's supposed to be coming. Contracts in the works with the developers. We have a council meeting Monday evening, and we're hoping to maybe finalize our end of it so the developers can proceed with what they've got going on. And as of right now, Winn-Dixie is the only business that we have word on, but once they start building that, we're pretty much, we know that the businesses will come calling, and that should be an awesome development. In 12 to 18 months, everybody that goes through that corner, I think you're gonna be impressed. We're excited about it, and we hope that it helps the entire county. North, south, everybody, a lot of people in the south didn't have to go that way, especially, where you work or whatever. And hopefully we can keep business inside our county, and everything can continue to grow and be successful as it is right now.
Can we see Mr. Mike Hobson on the camera? Kaylee?
You're next.
Kaylee Vernon, I'm a history teacher at Centreville Middle School and a member of CHPC.
I'm Dr. Steve Morgan. I'm president of South Florida Investments. We had a fantastic year last year. I want to tell you that. The thing is, I'm running for superintendent of education for all of Bibb County. You heard that. All of Bibb County. And I need your vote. If you go vote and you want to vote straight party, go ahead and do it. That's fine. But don't forget to mark my name after you vote straight. And there's not a Democratic candidate for superintendent in this county. So, if you're a Democrat, don't forget, mark my name. Thank you very much.
In the corner, real quick, I'll point out Miss Karen Williams. She's one of our members for our CHPC, and she's been responsible for our refreshments this morning. Miss M?
Emily Bowman. I'm representing Helmets for Christ, which provides football helmets for our youth in the county, ages 5 through 12, and it's tax deductible. If you would like to make a donation, they're gladly accepted.
I'm Mike Nichols, I'm the Mayor Pro Tem on the City Council of the City of Centreville. While I got your attention, no one's here from the Sheriff's Department, correct? I know Ryan's here for the county. But I want to thank Bibb County from north to south, east to west, the way they turned out.
It was awesome.
For Brad, it was it was amazing from Montevallo all the way to Centreville to Poundland. It was people come down long dirt drives, excuse me, had flags, banners, tractors with flags on them. Bibb County's a great place. I come here 40 years ago, and I didn't know much about Bibb County. The first thing I heard was, north of Chutes Creek, leave them alone. Or south of Chutes Creek, leave them alone, the river rats. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. if you run for an office just because you're from a geographical dot in Bibb County, you've got issues. We need to put that aside. I'm over my tantrum. Thank you.
Jim Oakley is tired, and I echo everything Chief Nichols said. Been through it all.
Mike Oakley, former president, proud former president of Chamber of Commerce and current mayor of Centreville.
Good morning, everyone. Curtis Travis, Alabama House of Representatives, District 72 elect.
Jerry Powell, down the bottom.
I'd like y'all to introduce you to Miss Christian Sanford. She's our chairperson of the CHPC, and I'm going to turn it over to her because we've got lots of cool things that she's going to tell us about and the good work that CHPC is doing in our area.
Yeah, thank y'all for coming. It's nice to see this is a good crowd with a lot of good people. Special thanks to Congressman Palmer's office. I know you guys are super busy, so for Ethan to take the time and come down and participate, we really appreciate that. How many are familiar with CHPC? It's what we go by, but it's the Centreville Historic Preservation Commission. Y'all have heard of us maybe? Some? Okay, good. All right, well, we are, you've heard of historic preservation societies though. They're all across the country. They've been around forever. Usually those societies do one of two things, and sometimes they do both. One, they educate, archive, and document, obviously, the material that's in a town or a region, document it for obvious purposes. I mean, you want to keep your history together. You want to keep it from passing away. And that happens a lot. I mean, I've talked to several people here that do their own independent archiving of materials, like Ms. Cottingham there. But it's good to have it in one central place in our region. You can have your little, your archives at home and in your, boxes and attics and all that kind of thing. That's great. Keep on doing that. But it's good for our region and our community to archive this information because, as we all know, if you don't know that stuff and keep up with it, and it's a constant effort, you're educating, you're inspiring, you're developing, you're lecturing, you're keeping it alive, because what happens if you don't? It goes away, and a lot of young people now, if you talk to them, even though we have great history teachers, Kaylee, the history that's particular to this region, we need to all work together to kind of keep that alive, okay? So that's one thing we do. We educate. Historical societies also can work with the city or the county to, they kind of work like a design review board, okay? That doesn't mean we tell you what you can do with your house necessarily. It just means that when it comes to the historic district, and we have a designated national historic district here in this county. I don't know if you know that. It's been around since the 70s. Miss Gwen Kennedy worked really hard to get us on the national register, not state, national. Okay, so we are part of the preservation, the National Trust for this area. That means we've got some historical creds, okay? And we want to keep it functioning. We want to keep people knowing about it. We want to make sure that maybe someone doesn't tear down an old house and put up a McDonald's or whatever. Now, I know that can be contentious, but our group actually does both. We are with the city of Centreville, and we function under their umbrella, but we're also independent too. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. Okay, if you look on your tables, you'll see that we have a brochure, and it tells you everything you need to know. The mission statement's on the back. Of course, we've got here the old bank building, which is the crown jewel in the town square, okay? And we're working to preserve that. And we've got some exciting developments there with the city. Information about our meetings, we meet the first Thursday of every month at 5 o'clock right here. And it's an open meeting, and anybody can come and participate. Just call us and let us know. We'll put you on the agenda, or just let us know you're coming, because we'd be thrilled to have you and have any input. We have an email. You see that there. We're on Facebook. We're beefing up our social media presence. So keep up with us that way. Now, here's some, what I was going to say is that we serve both. I told you about the educational element, and then we have the design review, which we're beefing that up, but this commission serves both. Okay, so we do both jobs. If you look over here, this is an example of part of the educational stuff that we do. Now, we have an extensive archive, and we're working to, first of all, one day we want to have a museum, even if it's a small little room or a couple of rooms here on the square where people can go and see pictures, see artifacts. There by the sign-in table, we have a sphere that was on top of the Presbyterian church during the war. Okay, you know that the Yankees came through here out of Birmingham and bivouacked, camped out on the town square, took pot shots at the sphere. I don't know, they were bored, whatever. We don't know the circumstances. But that was the original sphere, and those are the bullet holes, okay? I found this in a closet somewhere here in the church, but that's an artifact. That's an example of the artifact. And as I speak to people here in the county, there are a lot of people that have that kind of stuff tucked away. And we want to, we don't want to take it over, but we want to at least acknowledge that it's here, document it. If you have pictures, we'd like to have access just to copy them, maybe digitize them so that they don't just disappear. We had someone here in the community who passed away that did not have any family. Well, they left us all the material. I mean, it was going to be thrown away, and someone called out of the blue and said, hey, we got all this stuff, good stuff in this county, prayer books from like the 1800s from one of the churches here. We're going to throw this away. Does anybody want it? Yes, we want it. So we're copying that. We're archiving it. We're keeping up with it. Here's some examples just to blow up for you guys to see. A lot of people looked at this and had interesting comments to make. Maybe you recognize them. Everything from the old jail here. We have the original bridge. We have the bank building. This is graduating class of the Henry M. Davidson School, the first one. Now, there's an amazing story behind this school here, and we are actually working with this community. They have an active alumni association, and we are working with this community because this is part of our history too. And they have a museum over there at the school with all the materials. They have a book put out about it. Who knew? So we are working with them to bring that into our archives. All kind of interesting things. Let's see here. We have some books here for sale, but a lot of these pictures you'll even see more. I mean, these are $20. We have plenty of them. A lot of people look at this and see family members. They're like, oh, that's my grandmother, my great aunt, or whatever. Let me go real quick to some of our projects that we're working on. Along with our archiving, which hopefully we're going to create a virtual museum where you can go on our website and look at the pictures. Okay. Another thing that we're working on is the bank building. We're working with the city, and we're in the process of getting roofing bids. And so that's moving. We have some people that are going to help us develop that and make that a functional place again. What we want to do is, and some of what we do is economic development, but not really. I mean, it folds into that sometimes, but that's one of our big projects is working on the bank building. I think for all the events, people have walked in and out of there and seen it. I've had people from all over the state come look at it, look at the woodwork and say, please don't let this go. I've been all over the state. I haven't seen anything like this. So, I mean, that's something worth saving. It's a long process, but we're making progress. Okay, another thing that we did, just on your table, this was also in the vein of education. One of the things that the Centreville Historic Preservation does is provide information that helps county officials, city officials, nonprofits, concerned citizens with with information about how to address historically certain aspects of our life here. And this was just one of our projects. It's not a must-do, but it's just information. Here was an article in the Centreville Press that talks about cultural and historical landscaping. That's such a thing. I mean, it's defined by the National Park Service as part of preserving a community's personality. This is just, I encourage you to read this, take one of these. This is just a little watercolor, and we'll have these available in the future, hopefully, in thank you note form, but we had somebody draw up just a little schematic of what it might look like, in the course of development. Let me show you this. I'm going to ask for a show of hands. How many remember the court square when it looked like this? or at least has some recollection. Now, obviously, if anybody raised their hand, this is in the 20s or the 30s. But look at, the green space is all the way to the front. You've got a monument there. You've got all these trees. We've widened the roads in the last 100 years because we need cars going back and forth. More people have cars. But you can see the space over here with trees. You can see it actually becomes, instead of a parking lot, a park-like area, which will do what? Draw people downtown. Which will do what? Benefit the businesses. Which will do what? Create a sense of place. That's one thing that historic preservation does. It's not about telling everybody what to do. It's about preserving a personality. And this community definitely has it. We have a sweet little layout. Not all towns in Alabama, not all small towns in America, some do, have that square where everything's kind of looking in. You know why? Because you want people to come and walk around, benefit the businesses, and actually be a community. And not just, be in a shopping center. I mean, those are great, but this is about actually communing with people and being a community. So, and like I said, if anybody's interested in our feedback on certain things, you could contact us and say, hey, we're trying to landscape this area of something on the other side or whatever, other side of the river, and we can do some input. We can do the research. Our information on this was based on historic photographs that people have given us over time. So, we didn't just think this up. So this is just an example of something. If you need to consult with us about your building or what might benefit, we'll be glad to give you some feedback. You don't have to do it necessarily. There's some houses, that are not in the historic district, but they have historic merit. Maybe you're interested in getting a little feedback on that. We're happy to provide that. So, in closing, I'll just say that we've got some exciting projects going on, and we hope you'll stop by and participate. If you have any ideas, you're welcome to bring it before the commission. We'll definitely entertain them, whether it's signage, whether it's, and again, we work with the city, but we're happy just to give some information if that's what you're interested in. So we're going to forge ahead. If there are any questions, I'm here.
Hi, I have a comment. If our information, our contact information is on here, there's a phone number, our email address, and our Facebook page. Even if you lose us, look us up on Facebook, send us a message. I will answer you. If you have any artifacts that you would like to donate, or if you just have pictures that you would give us access to and digitize, if you notice, all the pictures up there are watermarked and it has who donated them. So we're not just giving out pictures to just everybody, and you do get the credit for donating them. You get to keep your original copy, obviously. We just want to digitize them, and we will give you the digitized copy as well. So I know everybody has old photos. I do. I need to give them. So I know that we would appreciate it.
Okay, Ms. Sim.
Where do you, so this meeting is over.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you store everything?
Well, that's a good question. We're trying to acquire some space. Actually,
What about the chamber building?
Yeah.
It's historical. It was the post office. The depot.
Yeah,
And I mentioned it previously, is bring back to Bibb County some of the military artifacts that are in Allisville and other places.
I didn't know about that.
I'm waiting to donate. He was in Burma, India, and China, the BMI.
Okay.
And I just have a problem taking it to Allisville.
Sure.
I want it here.
Okay.
I just know where to put it.
Okay, that's good. Well, we are working on a space, like I said, a central space where we can have it, where it's safe. It's particularly this county, and people can actually enjoy it.
The room at the chamber on the right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not used, but it's not heated and cool, but it's.
That's a good idea.
Can we not get grant money and use that?
We could. That's one of the things on our plate, and we're very much looking for a place.
It's county. That's it's the Bibb County Commission.
Mm-hmm.
We welcome a grant writer that would like to volunteer their services.
West Alabama Planning Commission has grant writers available. If you contact Dennis Strickland.
Well, we've kind of worked with them, and they are more geared towards economic development versus preservation. We are working, because we've tried that. One of the things that, pardon?
He keeps telling you that I wrote grants. I wrote grants 12 years ago.
Okay.
Have grants been identified, or?
When they come to us, yeah. I mean, when we're there at the notice, yeah. But, you know, it's a volunteer commission, and we do. When they come up, we do work on them. But, you know, it's an extensive thing to write grants. It's an extensive thing to have someone maintain the social media page, you know. And like I said, we're trying to grow up as a group and kind of get that together and have a place. So all that's very much on the agenda. Yeah, yeah.
It takes a team. It's not one person doesn't write a grant. It takes a team, and you have some people in place that are key, would be key players.
Yeah. So believe me, all these are great ideas, and we are not unaware of the situation. We're working bite of the elephant, one bite at a time. So we're making great progress, and we're excited about that. But yes, any feedback that you have like that, we're interested in people getting involved and telling us. Was there one more question? Did you have a question, Mike?
No.
Okay.
I've got an article I need to go to my truck after we convene it and show you so you can take pictures.
Okay.
David's seen it, but I have a statement after we get through here that I forgot.
Okay, okay. Well, if there are no more questions, like I said, there are plenty of things to look at up here. There's a book. If you don't have this book, I would encourage you to get it. It's it's not even a read. It's mainly looking at pictures. It's very entertaining. We had a woman here who wrote a book on Bibb County. We're trying to get that back into print so that can be available. Who was that, David? Who was the woman that wrote the book? That's right. That's right. That's right. Right.
Connie was her sister.
Yeah, we have that book. We're trying to contact the publisher and see, you know, if we can get that back into print. So that can be another offering that we have. There's several things like that that we're just trying to put back in the community and make people aware of. And, you know, people thus far have been very, very interested and enthusiastic. So there's an appetite here for historic documentation and preservation.
Bloody Bibb would be a good one to get back.
Yeah, yeah. So just reach out to us. Like I said, you're welcome to come to our Thursday meetings. First Thursday of every month, 5 o'clock here. And, you know, we look forward to working with y'all in the future.
Anyone forget anything? We can
Yes,
wrap up?
Yes. I meant to mention this earlier. Y'all know, everybody's noticed the blue light bulbs on people's front porch. That was to honor Deputy Brad Johnson, okay? The lady, and I can't remember her name, she's a manager
I
at
feel like I got
Walmart.
tripped up a little bit.
She had a few of those lights and they got gone quick, sold out. This lady helps us run the Christmas with a Cop every year at Christmas, and I'm sure y'all familiar with it. She's got blue light bulbs on order. They're supposed to be in today. Now she's donating all these blue light bulbs to us, the county. Sherry Price, Rusty Price, Deputy Rusty Price's husband, you know, with the sheriff's department, it's his wife, and she's handling this. So if